Hi there, my name is Michael Flynn, and today we'll be discussing at-risk factors and indicators. And one thing that I find really unique and interesting about this field is that many of those factors are connected. One of the first at-risk factors is family. And past studies have shown that over time, cultural impacts, family dynamics, and well-rounded nutrition have the ability to increase individuals' IQ. This notion has been dubbed the Flynn effect. So all these different activities that are having or taking place at the home can impact how young individuals develop. And that could be from the media that family members are bringing into the home or the television shows that they're watching. And then this idea of nutrition. Think about maybe waking up today or maybe sending your child off to school. If they don't have something to eat before they go, they might not be as prepared as some of the other students. They may be hungry throughout the day. They might not be able to concentrate on what's going on around them. Now, drugs are also an at-risk factor, and I think this is a component that can potentially be linked to the family. If your mother or father or brother or sister are doing drugs, there's a chance that a youth may get wrapped up into that involvement, or they might have easier access to those materials. Especially for a youth that's developing, or even a baby, if the mother is doing drugs, then this could have effects on that child's development even before they're born. So there's many linking components within these issues. Guns are also a factor, and I find in many ways that this too is potentially linked to family and home situations. If the parents have guns at home, then it's easy potentially for those youth to get access to them. They could turn into a potentially negative situations. So family is really the whole, one of the starting points in indicating risk factors for youth. As we start to branch out from family, I think we then kind of explore this idea of a community or this larger group. And in many ways, I think family and community can be connected. We may be members of a church or a sports team or a youth organization, and that creates a sense of a community. So the individuals that we associate with, we are creating a community. And those communities can be positive. We could be having some very good interactions with other individuals, or they could be potentially negative. Gangs are bad, but gangs they're a community. They're a group of people that potentially have similar issues or similar constraints, and they want to fit in. So potentially they might join this gang. That gang mentality or gang environment can have a multitude of potential at-risk factors for someone that's trying to develop. Poverty is also something that I think is linked to community. Think about the neighborhood you live in, or where youth is raised. That can have some effects on maybe their ability to attend a better school, or potentially get mixed up with some other students that might have some negative impacts on that individual. Another component I think of today's modern community is this idea of the online community, and that relates to this notion of multimedia and entertainment. Working at a college, I see students who spend a lot of time working on their social media profiles, maybe interacting with other students across the country or from where they're from, and they've created this media or this community that exists online. And I think that potentially can act as a support system, but it also can act as a negative system that might be showing them ideas or thoughts that could influence the way they interact with others. It can potentially lead to cyberbullying or negative slander against other individuals, which can also create risky or factors for young students that are developing. One of the primary risk factors or where students can potentially get in trouble is at school. Again, school creates a community, or it creates this ecosystem where individuals are interacting with each other. As Dr. Powell says, success in school often equals success in life. But within a school setting, there can be many hurdles that a student has to overcome. If they have developmental issues, or they've had a slow start getting integrated into a school system, they might be a few steps behind of the other students. And how do they overcome that? Or how can they deal with those issues to be successful? So one of my overall goals for the course is to find ways and strategies that teachers can deal with at-risk students. And often I think this is related to maybe teachers aren't fully trained to deal with these students, and how could we find ways to create a better educational environment where at-risk students can thrive. A couple potential strategies I'm looking at or considering is how online education or content might be able to be used to supplement a learner, as well as other creative components incorporated into the classroom, such as outdoor activities or hands-on art experiences, as a way to continue to develop a student's ability to think creatively, as well as develop their cognitive skills. So this relationship between home, community, and school has many intertwining components that can be potentially pitfalls for an at-risk youth, or have the ability to build them up to allow them to be successful throughout their life. Thank you.